If you fail to believe you will procrastinate or become idealistic about how awesome you are at working hard and managing your time, you never develop a strategy for outmaneuvering your own weakness. David McCraney. If you fail to believe you will procrastinate or become idealistic about how awesome you are at working hard and managing your time, you never develop a strategy for outmaneuvering your own weakness. David McCraney. With wine and food, the confidence of my own table and the necessity of reassuring my wife, I grew by insensible degrees courageous and secure. H. G. Wells. Remind yourself that your mental and emotional health are important. Alan Locos. Everybody sins. Francis. The terrible thing is that we love our sins. We love the thing that makes us evil. Robert Cormier. What I was chasing in circles must have been the tail of the darkness inside me. Haruki Murakami. The implication is that the Sephiroths of the Kabbalah are principles contained in humans' processes of a supernatural dimension intimately united with the human somatic system. Charles Ponce. Our work is not to become a better person but to become present to the perfection we already are. Alan Locos. In life we make the best decisions we can with the information we have on hand. Agnes Kamara Umana. There are some people you like immediately, some whom you think you might learn to like in the fullness of time, and some that you simply want to push away from you with a sharp stick. Douglas Adams. There is no divinity achieved unless the individual mind submits itself to a mind supposed supreme. The Bible in its simplest form is simply Theta Book. When you give it your mind, it becomes powerful. Du Platt. Whether a belief is considered to be a delusion or not depends partly upon the intensity with which it is defended and partly upon the numbers of people subscribing to it. Anthony Storr. Patience is both the tool for and the result of our efforts. Resiliency is the essence of a global positive framework. Asa Dawn Brown. People react predictably, especially when they don't have time to think. Keith Ablow. It's always easier to learn something than to use what you've learned. You're alone when you're learning, but you always use it on other people. It's different when there are other people involved. Chaim Potok. The mind is ever ingenious in making its own distress. Oliver Goldsmith. Creativity is the highest form of intelligence. Over time, after developing a more advanced creative brain, I started feeling that my college education was more so something to be ashamed of rather than something to be proud of. Chris Jamie. The choice in this life is not between easy and hard, but between kinds of hardship, between a hardship that gives birth to wisdom, compassion and mercy, and the hardship that keeps on replicating itself to no end. Noam Spencer. What is demanded of man is not, as some existential philosophers teach, to endure the meaninglessness of life, but rather to bear his incapacity to grasp its unconditional meaninglessness in rational terms. Viktor E. Frankl. We see the world not as it is, but as we are, or as we are conditioned to see it. When we open our mouths to describe what we see, we in effect describe ourselves, our perceptions, our paradigms. Stephen R. Covey.